Hello everyone and welcome to another custom figure showcase. So today I'm going to be showing you off a custom that again I have had in my collection for quite a while, but I've just only realised now that I have never shown it to you. And this is Davros obviously, but this is my own version of Davros as he was seen in the comic version Emperor of the Daleks, obviously with the claw. So to take you over the figure, first of all, it started off life as a genesis of the Daleks, Davros. Now, I have taken some artistic liberty with this livery, as you may notice. So, the original silver base is from the Genesis of the Daleks version. It came with a black rim and the silver base. The idea I then had was I had the normal Davros black with silver and black control panel, but once I put the silver claw on, there was something about the contrast between, you know, I mean, if I just pose it up a little, you've got silver, then you've got black, then you've got silver, then you had silver, then you got black, then you had silver and black again, and it looked, there was something about it that just didn't look quite right, and it needed something a little bit different doing to it. So what I decided to do was to just break up the colour scheme a little bit, but also by breaking it up, make some subtle changes to the order. So essentially what I've done is the, knocking things over, the black rim around the edge of the control panel I've painted silver. And then the chair itself, I actually looked at the Destiny of the Daleks figure chair, which is a lighter grey rather than a black, and I looked at that, but the thing is it didn't look right to have the lighter grey with the silver spheres, and then it occurred to me thinking, well, why not flip the contrast, have a lighter chair with darker spheres, and that's what I've done. So I've gone for a grey set of chair colour scheme, and overall a black set of spheres, and I think it works really well, actually, I have to say. And I like I said, if I just put the claw up again, I like the sort of contrast I've got between the different colours, and it just makes Davros look a little bit different and gives the sort of, like I said, it breaks up the colour scheme a little bit, and I think it works very well as an idea. Obviously, the other thing as well, that obviously I've got the original Davros head on there. Now I took the head wires off. Now this was originally actually this head, well I say head, the actually the original body, I swapped over the arms. The original body I had on this with the head was a Terry Malloy Davros, and obviously that is more fitting as we know that Davros lost his hand after the events of Revelation of the Daleks. But when I was looking at the image that appears, and Davros as he appears in Emperor of the Daleks, he certainly has the David Wisher head more, but he also doesn't have any head wires, so I decided to completely take the head wires off this, and I swapped over my David Wisher head with the David Wisher body even with the Terry Malloy one, and so now the Terry Malloy one is actually for my audio series Davros. So this is my original audio series Davros body, but I decided to flip it over, and actually again I think it works very well. I'm very pleased with how this looks. I think it works. It looks a lot better because again it just gives Davros that slight unique look, I think, because obviously the majority of the time we've seen Davros in the classic series, I say the majority of the time, was with the Terry Malloy, you know, more gaunt, you know, rounded mask. And so I like the idea of having David Wisher's head on this because it does make him look a little bit more different. And now suddenly, for some reason, I've said David Wisher and I'm now suddenly thinking it's Michael Wisher. I apologise if I've got that wrong. I don't have things to hand. There's probably going to be an annotation saying if I was wrong or right at this point. So obviously the other thing I know people are going to want to know is the claw itself. So what I've done essentially is just cut off the handpiece here, literally just cut it off, and then the actual claw is made from plasticard, and then these parts, I couldn't tell you specifically what parts they're made from, but they are literally just little spares and things that I found and just glued together. So it's a great way of doing it. I think I think this part, the silver part that you can still see, is actually from a 10th Planet Cyberman that I had spare and I had in pieces, and I think it just happened to be the sort of right size to fit in there. Obviously it's not quite straight, I do need to go and redo this at some point, but overall it does fit on quite well, and I think it was the right sort of diameter to fit on there. Obviously it did mean that I had to, you know, actually cut off Davros' hand, so if you've got a spare Davros that you don't mind taking apart, I would recommend doing this as a custom, because it's a great way to make an interesting little custom that's a bit different, but obviously it's also a great way of just changing. It's a great way to show how the simple contrast and color changes of things often work so well. I mean, I know, you know, something that I often say is, you know, that I'm not prepared to do classic Daleks, new series Daleks in classic colours and things like that. But again, as I've said recently, revising that, sometimes it does work, because sometimes you just have to get the contrast of colours quite right. And I think this is where, this is a perfect example of where that works very well. But that is all for this video. That is my Emperor of the Daleks, Davros. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, favourite, subscribe, share, it really helps me a lot. And be sure to check out the description below for a link to my Patreon. I have started an exclusive webcomic on there, and there are rewards for people who support it, and it would really help me out a lot if you supported that as well. I salute you all, and I will see you with another video very soon.